Hey! Oh, we can hear your settings. Can you hear us?
I'm getting lots of notifications, and I don't know what to do about it.
Oh no! Okay, what notifications are they from? Are they the chat?
For every single message that comes through. Hold on, let me turn that off.
Okay, if you
I did it. I did it. I got it.
Oh, okay, awesome. Welcome to Discord of Final Fantasy 15 and Chill, the Discord.
Hi guys. This is a Discord. You guys just talk about Final Fantasy 15 in general. You guys are all Final Fantasy 15 fans, but you hate all the other Final Fantasies. Is that true? Is that what that means?
Oh, that's totally it. Yeah.
Yeah. So terrible.
No, we made this a few months back, and back when you helped out with the pub quiz, actually.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's gone crazy.
Wait a minute.
Hmm?
Learned that you're from a really interesting country like Finland.
Oh, the previous winner. They're in this chat right now, actually. Yes. I can't remember which country it was, but yeah.
That's right. Where was it? We talked about doing a con. I don't remember if it was Finland or Norway. It was somewhere out there.
Norway. There you go. They've just said.
Hey, there you go.
Awesome.
Perfect.
But yeah, thank you so much for doing this. Hoping to raise a lot of money tonight for a really amazing cause.
How much?
As much as we can get. We're just gonna go crazy and see how it goes.
That's perfect.
So, you ready to start? Oh. Are you ready to start?
Oh no, you're not. Breaking up. Let me try doing another room in this house. I do have full bars, so I don't know what could be the problem.
It could be that our server's EU based, so it might be a little bit off occasionally for that.
Hey, let's try it over here.
Okay.
So you guys have questions?
Yeah, we've got a list of questions coming in at the moment. And yeah, I'll start off with some, and we'll see how it goes. Just double check. Gower, can you drop in mod chat that you're still doing okay? Right, let's go. So, start with, we've got a question here from Lauren Coniglio, and
Lauren?
their question is, I'm a teenager living with chronic pain, and I use Noctis a lot to get through my days with stuff like, if he can do it, I can. And I was wondering if I can hear your opinion on the Pain Noctis headcanon. Thank you.
Pain Noctis headcanon.
Yeah, have you heard this one?
I haven't heard this one, but I mean, I don't know if there's even a headcanon about it. Noctis does go through a lot of pain. I mean, he is forged by it. Growing up when he was a young prince, he had everything handed to him. He starts out as kind of a brat. He still has that heart of gold on the inside, but it isn't until all of the awful things that happen to him. I mean, things usually come to mind first. The loss and death of his friends and loved ones. But the physical pain that he goes through putting on the ring, these are some very harsh scenes of severe agony that he goes through physically. And what it does thematically is it turns him into a stronger person because of it. If he hadn't gone through all these very trying trials, he wouldn't be the prince and the king that we see his whole bodying at the end thematically. It's a very rich story that would really help you through a very tough time, knowing that this kind of pain makes me stronger. This makes me a person who understands the value of what I have and how much it costs to sacrifice it. That was something that when we were working on this game, we knew that was going to be a theme that was going to stick with a lot of people. That this isn't just Noctis isn't some hero who just who's invincible. who goes through everything without a scratch. He has a lot of scars that take him through everything. So I don't think that's a headcanon at all. I think that is canon for sure.
Definitely, they made a very, very relatable game for a lot of people. It's amazing how many fans I think it's actually connected with, like both mentally and physically.
And new fans too, because it's not. It's a lot of people who like it who don't necessarily even like or know video games that much. It's just a story that a lot of people can relate to on its front.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Okay, next we've got Hack Wolfin, who's quite often in lava actually.
Yeah, of course. Hi.
And I'm going to unmute them so they can ask you their question. Okay, Hack, when you're ready.
Am I on?
Yep.
Yes, hi. Love your art.
Hey, Ray. I have a silly question. So, if it was night for 10 years in Lucis, why didn't everybody just go to the other side of the world where it was day for 10 years?
So the problem with that, if you look on the map of EOS, it's very clear that there is no other side of the world, that their world is in fact flat. So there is no way to go on the other side. And it's not flat like it's a cube. It's just it's absolutely two-dimensional. So they can't go anywhere. If they wanted to go somewhere, they'd have to wait another 10 years for Final Fantasy X-2 to come out. But even then, there's not a guarantee.
That is a wonderful answer.
To the question.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I've never been asked that one before.
All right.
That was good.
On to the next person.
Yeah, thank you, Hack.
No problem.
Okay, that was a really good answer. The world is officially flat. Okay.
Well, yeah, and of course, the reason why I got the role of Noctis was because I understood the canon of the game the best. Like, I definitely know the most about my Lucian history and about all the cities in Niflheim really well.
Oh, definitely. So basically, you're a walking historian of Lucian
Yes,
lore.
and everything I say is completely canon and it's true, yeah.
We'll bear that in mind. Okay, next up is Susie. I'm gonna just scroll to find. Okay, Susie, and you are now unmuted.
Hi, Ray. Hi. I have a question, and given that this is a campfire, could you or Noct please sing us a few lines to make us feel warm and cozy?
At the campfire? All right, everybody gather around. I have this song I've been preparing for a long time. It's called... it has nothing to do with Prompto. It just happened to be the name of my song. Here it goes. Best friend, and you've got blonde hair, and I'm not in love with you at all. You're my best friend, and that's all it ever was. Nothing more than that. So let's play some King's Knight. What are these? A keyboard that I'm hearing.
Oh, I'm so
What is
sorry.
that?
So sorry, that is mine. That was some extra sound for the background, you know, music.
That's perfect. It sounded like the crackling fire.
That's exactly what it was. That was a wonderful song, though.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ray. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's see. Next up, we have a donation from Ravis, and I'm going to go find them so they can ask you a question.
At first, Ravis was a character that everyone said, no, we don't like him, but now that DLC came out, and we're like, yeah, he's cool.
Ravis, what did you change your name to? Ah, got you. Never mind. Okay. Here you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi there.
Hi. My question is, barring what you can't say because of contract, what other future franchises you wish to participate in any kind of role? And thank you for not just being Noctis, but also Eve, Ephra, and Artorias Colbrand.
I love those guys. Artorias was a really fun one too. And Eve is really interesting because I'm getting a lot of mentions because of, I guess, Nier made a lot of Game of the Year lists, and now people are starting to pick it up. That's a dang good game. If you haven't played it, you owe it to yourself to get Nier Automata. However the heck they... the question was what I like to be involved in. I would love to be involved in anything that Naughty Dog makes. I mean, that would just be incredible. I guess they're working on Last of Us 2 right now. I don't think I ever auditioned for it. You know, you never know when you get the auditions. You don't ever know what you're really auditioning for. But I can say with certainty that I'm not in that game. But I would love to. I would love to work on those guys. I think they really a lot and get involved with a lot of mocap, which is just the best stuff. So I would love to work with Naughty Dog on something for sure. The other thing is there's not a lot of franchises left, like on the Japanese side. I don't even know, like there's stuff like Danganronpa that I'm like not in, but I feel like there's a lot of them that I've already left my mark for good or bad, and I'm running out. I'm running out of time, guys.
I mean, I was going to say Persona, but you've kind of covered that base by being the Subway announcer.
Dang, it's like when they come out with Persona 6 and 7, it's like I'm already canon Subway announcer. So unless he's involved or the central figure of Persona 6, which I highly anticipate they will, I wouldn't have anything else to do in that series.
Well, there's always Western RPGs like Dragon Age and other games, so there's still some options.
Yes, I was just talking Japanese specifically, because there's not a whole lot of those that are out there, not the major ones at least.
Okay, so thank you, Ravus, for your question. And yeah, going to move on to the next person, but thank you. Okay, so I've got one from Ingy from the chat here, and the question is, hello Ray, could you say I love Prompto in your Noctis voice? Thank you very much.
Because I know, and we already said that you're recording this for future generations, I just know it will be misused for all the wrong reasons, and I know I will get in trouble for doing something.
Oh no, yes, don't get yourself in trouble for this. No.
I will say, Prompto, amazes me how much you do for me. Eternally grateful for you standing by me.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. Okay. Okay, next up we've got AgCloud from the Discord. AgCloud, yes. Who's in here somewhere with the Tombury icon, I believe. I can't spot. But the question is, how did you know that you were chosen to play Noctis?
So, for this one, it was there was an audition that came out for Project Black, but they did give us the names of the characters. So I did not know. I was not following Versus 13 at the time, so I didn't know about that these characters already existed. And I gave my audition. I auditioned for Noctis, for Ignis, and for Gladio. And my Ignis was way off. I didn't understand it at all. I made him like this. It was absolutely the wrong choice for what they eventually went with. But my Gladio was pretty much down here. In my Noctis, I worked really hard on, and 10 days later, I found out I got a call back for Noctis. I went in. I was super nervous. In the audition room, it was Yuri Lowenthal was there auditioning, and Keith Farley, the director, who I knew as Mass Effect's Thane Krios. I was like, oh my God, so intimidated. They brought me into this huge room that was used for orchestral recordings, and I had to stand in the middle of it and talk to a guy who I was already nerding out about and try to audition for this part. It was my first ever callback. So I was just ridiculously nervous. I found out I did really badly on that callback, but I got the part anyway, magically, because they liked my initial audition in the first place. Later, I got a call from my agent saying, congratulations, you got it. You'll be playing Noctis. And I immediately called my friend Max Middleman and told him the news. And then I called my mom and explained to her what Final Fantasy was and all that sort of stuff. But man, was I excited. But that was not the end of the road, because there was still, we recorded the demo, and then there was the whole recasting that Tabata was trying to find the right voice for. And so that was a good long month of doubt that I would even get to play this part. So fortunately, through the support of my friends, I got through that very difficult time. And I always have Keith Farley and Dan Inoue to thank for going to bat for me and letting me re-audition. Because there's certainly a lot of games that I've been in where you get cut or recast and they don't give you a chance to do another voice. For this one, I'm eternally grateful to them for giving me that second opportunity.
Yeah, because thinking of the Sky, you voiced Wiz during that as well, didn't you?
They did. They didn't have a lot of budget for that one for the voice because it was just a demo. So we play all of the ancillary characters in this, the 4 guys, and I think they had a couple of girls come in and do some other parts too. But yeah, they just kind of threw us a bunch of random NPCs at the time, and I gave something like that for Wiz. I don't remember exactly, but something like that, so that it wouldn't sound like Noctis.
That's awesome. Okay, next up we have Go from the chat, who I'm going to find and unmute for their question. So, there you go.
Hello, am I unmuted? Hello, my name is Go or Margot, whatever you are feeling.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm in the beginning stages of trying to become a voice actor, and obviously you're one of my favorites in that field, and your performances were crazy powerful, honestly, in Final Fantasy, and I died. But I'm really excited about it, but also terrified, especially regarding the hundreds of auditions I'll have to do someday. And I don't really, even with my teacher, he has done more of the commercial aspects, and I want to do video games and animation and stuff. And so his experiences with auditions are just kind of different from what I'll be expecting. So I just kind of wanted to know what your experience has been with the auditioning process, just in general, because I still just don't really have a feel for how that's even going to work.
It's insane when you go back and look. I have a Google folder that has all of the auditions that I do, and when you go back and look, and it's thousands and tens of thousands of auditions, and you go, oh man, and you see one that you really enjoyed or put a lot of time in or wanted to in the moment, really wanted these things, and you realize the infinitesimal chance you have of booking those. I would say my booking rate is around 1 out of every 200 auditions I do. I will book one of those. It is unbelievably. It's easy as long as you stay in the moment. And when every audition comes through, you give it your all, and then you never think about it again because it's really tough. I will say the hardest thing, important things, is to not discount commercials, because that is the only real way to make a living, is to book the boring stuff, as well as video games and animation. So having that grounding in commercial and normal people voiceover, even though it's boring and not fun. That's the way to make a living for sure. Because a game you can't live off of. I couldn't live off of even Final Fantasy 15. That's not it's not enough money to live off of for a year. So it is something that you have to always be aware of, and that most of your auditions are going to be for commercials anyway. I mean, there's just more of them. But in that way, there's also more opportunities. I highly recommend if you're starting out, because where do you live?
Oklahoma, but I'm going to move to California when I graduate college.
Gotcha. Oklahoma, I've done a bunch of spots there. There's Remington Racetrack, right? Out there. Yeah, that's I do a lot of those spots. They're fun because they use lots of character voices for their stuff.
Oh
I
my
like them
god,
a lot.
no way. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm looking into doing audiobooks, so I've been practicing that with my teacher, and I think that's going to be
Lots
a
of
lot of
opportunities.
fun. But wherever is behind the mic that's where I'm going to try and be. So.
I highly recommend that I do. I got my start doing Voice 123. I think it's an honorable site. They really do take care of their clients, and there's just so many. There's so many opportunities out there for things that you never think about, like museums. Like when you're in a museum and you press the audio button, there's someone talking, and that's a job, and I've done that. And that's how you can really, you get enough of those and you get enough of repeat clients. That's how you can really build a career out of something like that. Provided you have no crazy like, oh, I know the founder of Blizzard, so I'm going to be working for them. That's a good way to keep yourself occupied.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for donating, Go.
No problem.
Okay. You doing all right?
Great, yeah.
Awesome.
This weekend is great. It's my one weekend of the year that I spend with my buddy out in Tucson, Arizona, and I play with him and his wife. We go through as many games as we can. And this weekend, I just played Metal Gear Solid 2. I've never played that before, and we're gonna play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I can't wait.
That sounds like an amazing weekend.
Although again, I have a million auditions. Work started already, so I have to do that after this.
You don't think about that now. You think about that after. Okay, so next up we have Sam, who I'm going to unmute now. Okay. There you go. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Sam, I'm just going to remove your mod rights. Have fun. You get to be a chocobo.
Sam the mod.
Sam
Hi.
is no longer a mod. Sam, disconnect him. Oh, there you go. You got it.
Oh, me. Oh gosh. Hello.
Yeah.
All right. So my question is actually just a little bit general, just a little bit fun. I wanted to know, in your downtime when you don't have anything to do with work, what is some of your favorite things to do?
I like reading. That's always a fun thing to do. I like reading like straight up literature, like fun classics and stuff like that. I also enjoy playing piano, which is something that I had to take off for a little while, but this year I'm making a concerted effort to get back into it. And then of course video games, one of the best things. Although I'm reaching the end of my backlog at a certain point. I don't play every game that comes out, but I am reaching the point where like, okay, I'm feeling good about my video game progress for the first time in my life. I've gotten through most of the ones that I really, really wanted to get through. So yeah, I don't know. I'll be playing future games that come out, and of course, if there's someone in the past that I missed previously, but I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Okay, thank you.
That
Sam.
you recommend?
Game that I would recommend. Oh gosh. Probably not, because I'll say 90% of my time has been Final Fantasy 15 in the past 6 months.
Still a great game. I do plan on, once they finish all the updates, I really want to 100% that game, because I didn't my first playthrough knowing that there was more to come. But that'll be a fun thing, with playing with character swap and playing all the DLCs. That'll be something I'll do.
Same. That's what I'm working on right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much for donating, Sam. Okay. Should probably quickly give her her mod roll back, otherwise it's going to be very confusing. 2 seconds.
Applefucker Gaylord Shit Eater mod. I really enjoy that name. Great name. Absolutely.
There you go, Tin. You've been recognised.
It's great because the apple. I really want to know the story behind the apple part of that, because the rest of it is all bad words. But why an applefucker? That's just amazing.
Well, they're in campfire chat at the minute. If you want to keep half an eye on that, I'm sure they'll happily explain that one.
Oh, I think I'm in the general conversation channel.
Yeah, no, we got Campfire and Campfire 2 underneath events, and that's where everyone's.
Oh no! Oh, but it's the awful thing where they're commenting on things that I just said, and it's like if you ever do the thing where you hear yourself but a half-second delayed, you can't talk. It's that thing that makes you stop talking. It's very, very difficult to read comments and talk at the same time. Oh look, he said it's a long story, Ray. That's great. I wonder the twists and turns of Applefucker's life. That's it merits a book at some point.
Okay, so next up we have Kanashi Oto, who has a question. So I'm just going to find them. Okay, and I am unmuting you now. There you go.
Am I unmuted?
Yep.
Oh Lord, I was not expecting this.
Yeah.
So, I was wondering, was there any point with you playing 15 that you didn't expect coming, even though you voiced it, or just any part in 15 that you were like, oh man?
Because when you're working on a game, you really have no idea how it's going to be implemented. You have sort of an idea, but to know what is going on, especially because there's so many, for a game like that, there's so many sessions and you forget things, and it's obviously the throwaway lines that you don't even remember that suddenly become the new recipe, where you're like, that was some line that Adam Crosdale did at some session that he had no recollection of, because it's just a totally normal line, but becomes this big deal. That's absolutely what we don't know. But specifically, the very end of the game, after the campfire scene, the scene with Noctis and Luna, in the sort of dreamy alternate ending thing, that I had no idea about, because it's not voiced at all. And so when I was playing through for the first time, I burst into tears, because that was just totally unexpected. They start playing the main theme from Final Fantasy I, and it brings it all together. That was absolutely an emotional moment for me.
Okay, so thank you very much for donating, and thank you for asking your question.
Thank you.
Okay. I just want to take a brief pause to say, oh my god, guys, these donations are absolutely amazing. We have just hit $300 already.
Nice.
We've just hit that. So thank you so much, everyone. Oh, I think your internet might cut out a bit there, Ray. Oh, wait, I think we can hear you again.
Sweet. I still have full bars. I don't know what it might be.
No idea. But oh my god, that donation amount is amazing, guys. Keep them, well, are you happy to go on for a bit more?
Let's do another 15 minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's go find that tab again. Sorry, I'm slightly distracted. I'm sort of grabbing the questions as I go, sort of thing.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so this one is from Jax, but they've asked me to ask this one to you.
Twitter, the artist? Maybe. We'll see.
Jax, Jax is an artist.
Yeah, Jax the artist. Yeah, no, I love Jax stuff. Yeah, hi Jax. Yeah.
Okay, how do you go about developing a character's voice? Like, how much comes down to the voice actor, but how much of it is based on input from directors?
Absolutely, a balancing act. You have half and half, and you can't really have one without the other, because you might have some voice in your head that you really, really want to try out, or something that you've had in your back pocket for a long time that's like, oh, this would be good for this guy, but you really don't know a lot when you're coming in. And so it's up to the director, who knows not only what the story is, but where all the other voices in the game or in the animation come from and sound like. The director has in his or her mind the grand idea of where everything fits. And so you're getting a lot of input from them, and from the video game person too, because there's the director, but there's also the person from the game, the client as we call them, who's in there giving advice and thoughts from the game perspective. So it's whenever you come in for something, you have an audition, which is usually the jumping off point. You start from that, but there's many times that you go in for something and they say, we liked your audition, we liked your acting, but we don't like the voice. So let's see if we can come up with a voice today. And because of the nature of the beast, you usually have, maybe you do 15 to 20 minutes, you try the voice out, and if you like it, if they like it, if everyone's all in accord, then you just keep going, and then you usually go back and redo the voice. For the voice of Eve, I think I auditioned for Eve, I don't really remember, but that was one where we did it doing a voice, and then we went through the entire game pretty much, and then we went back and then we redid some lines because the voice kept changing as we were going through. And then we realized, okay, but now those lines, do they sound like these lines later on in the game? And so we had to redo it many times and go through all the lines just to go through and make sure it all sounded the same. So it can be a very difficult thing to make sure the voice sounds the same all the way through. It's definitely one of the harder points of the job, for sure.
Sort of like finding a consistency almost to sort of maintain.
Because there's hundreds of lines, you really have to go through all of them to make sure it fits.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. I was just trying to make sure I wasn't like speaking over you there, because our internet's like overlapping slightly.
It sounds perfect from my end, so I'm not aware of it when it happens.
It could be my end, I have no idea. It might just be the server. And we've got a lot of people in here as well. Okay, so our next one is from mintfox. Mint, would you like to ask that one yourself? Mint's our Discord artist and does all the wonderful art that appears on most of our Discord and posters.
Oh, very cool. Wonderful.
You've asked me to ask it, but do you want to ask it yourself? Because I'm more than happy to let her, because like honestly the art is amazing. Is she here? Yeah. Mint, tag me if you reply, and I'll come back to you. No, it's okay, you do it. Okay, so, from Mint, the question is, what other reluctantly sounds or voices would Noct make when he has to eat beans?
What sounds would he make?
Yeah, maybe like other complaints.
Well, other than the classic beans, we would have to say legumes, or maybe vegetables.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so we have one here from Pop next. So I'm just going to find them. Slightly similar to a previous question, but not exact. Okay, Pop, I'm going to unmute you. There you go.
Hello. Hi. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, thank God I woke. Okay, so my question is, I want to start voice acting, but the problem is I tend to have a habit of speaking a little too fast, and I was wondering, is there a way to, or any techniques or advice on like trying to speak a bit slower and more clearer when voice acting?
I was in college. One of the classes that I took was script analysis, and we would act on stage, but also be really aware of what words the writer was using. And it's you know, an acting cliche to say use your words, but that is something that you can do when you're in the booth and you don't know what to do, or you feel like you're going too fast. It's consonants and the vowels and the inner poetry of the line to get yourself through a line, to make it sound more sonorous in general. That's something that I would recommend, using hard consonants and make sure they cut through. It's a lot of British actors come from that sort of teaching style, that you literally use your words to slice down someone if it's harsh words like that. And if it's something a little bit nicer, really use those vowels. I'm sure Darren DePaul as Arden does something like that. But that's a whole way of acting that can really make yourself slow down and appreciate literally the sounds that you're saying. So I would recommend that.
Oh, I see. Thank you so much, Ray. You really are my inspiration.
Pop, thank you.
Thank you for
Okay,
donating,
thank you.
Pop. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Angel. I'm just going to check if it was... Okay, yeah. And I'm going to unmute Angel now. There you go.
Hi, Angel.
Hi, Ray. Hi.
Hi there.
Bit of a self-indulgent question. My birthday was on Christmas Day this year, and I was wondering if maybe I could get a belated happy birthday from Noct.
Absolutely. Is your real name Angel?
It's Haley.
Haley, absolutely. Prince Noctis, I came here on Christmas Day. Oh darn, it's January already. All right, happy January and happy birthday to you. You deserve the best. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that.
For donating.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for donating, Angel.
Bye.
Happy birthday. Okay. I'm going to ask a couple of the $5 little ones at the minute. 2 seconds, I'm just scrolling them quickly. Okay, so this one's from Amelia Barber. And the question is, this is an important question for the king of fishing. Do you like bubble tea?
Oh.
And if so, what's your favourite flavour?
I gotta say, it frightens me. Bubble tea frightens me in a very big way, and I've never been able to actually eat one of those frosty nuggets. Never has it passed through my lips. So unfortunately, I cannot say for sure. Definitely frightens me in a big way. When boba was big, when I was in high school, we would go to one of those places, and I would just order the regular tea for me, please. Thank you.
I can kind of agree with you on that. I totally couldn't. I had one in Japan, and no, oh my gosh, it was the squidginess of the bubbles. I don't know, I just couldn't.
In texture and eating, yeah, that's one of the biggest things for me. More than taste, it's how does it feel, and that, I don't know, it's too scary.
Okay, so next up we have the ultimate Noctit, and I will find them. Okay, you are now unmuted.
Really?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, kind of nervous. So my question is, what's the weirdest line you ever had to say for voice acting?
There's definitely parts where we're in the studio and you read the line before you say it, and you go, I don't want to say this. And for me, especially with how they can be used against you, for me, definitely one of those lines was when Eve, out of nowhere in Nier, says, extra, extra hard. It is, McCarley uses it as one of his notification sounds in his Twitch, and just so embarrassing. So yeah, that definitely happens every once in a while.
Thank you for answering.
Thank you for donating.
Bye.
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 Oh, this is good. We're actually getting through most of the questions. We don't have that many left.
I'm glad.
This is good. This is good. Okay, so just scrolling quickly again. From Lucis, I'm not sure who this is in the chat, but Lucis Balaam. I love that. Okay, we've got Noctis seems nervous around girls in the game. And I was wondering, do you think he just has a shy disposition around strangers, or is it specifically the girls that intimidate him?
He doesn't talk to too many girls in the game. I feel like someone like Aranea, who's on Noct's level physically, like in terms of fighting ability, he's not really too intimidated by women like her. But someone like Kaktura in Golden Key throws him way off guard with like, oh, is this flirting? I don't... the one thing that Noct really doesn't know how to do is flirt with people. When Iris brings it out, Noct brings his F game. He's not able to understand that dynamic. And when you look at his upbringing in high school, he was always looked on as someone above. But he couldn't really get to know people. He always had to have this aura of popularity around him that he had to keep up. And with that, you lose some of your humanness in terms of how you relate to people. So, and he always hangs out with dudes all the time. So I think women, if he's not fighting them, he doesn't know what exactly to do.
So that's probably why he gets on quite well with Aranea then.
Is that? Hello? Oh no! Now I'm feeling it.
Your internet.
I don't know if you can hear me at all.
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you again now.
Sorry I missed that, but I'm sure it was amazing.
Okay, so trying to get through the last lot of the $10 ones. 2 seconds. Trying to speed read. Evie Saw has asked, did you get the t-shirt I sent you?
I don't know exactly which one. I know I got the ones that I handed out to the guys, and I actually took a picture of it. If you're the one from who emailed my email address, the one that's University of Insomnia, I did get those. I'm trying to think of other t-shirts.
That's it. I think so.
I took a picture of it when Adam and Robbie were over that I meant to send to you, and I haven't gotten around to it. So I will do that today.
Yep, it sounds like it was that t-shirt. She's screaming yes in the chat.
Yeah, we got it. And they were distributed. They were lovely. Thank you.
Okay, I've got one here, and I'm afraid I'm not sure who it's from, but I'm gonna ask it because I think at some point, actually no, Okay, 2 secs. I am desperately trying to work out who's done what here. Okay, so I don't know who's asked this one, but I'm gonna ask it for you because. Yeah. So which ending did you prefer, canon or alternate on Final Fantasy 15?
Oh, alternate ending, the episode Ignis one.
Yeah.
I enjoy the canon ending very much. I mean, obviously the alternate ending is way happier. But I don't know if happy endings are the best endings, if they're as impactful. I know that the canon ending certainly meant a lot to people. The alternate ending hasn't been around a lot to know what exactly the fans at large think of it. Obviously, it makes you feel happy, but I don't know how much it makes you think and feel in the end. So I'm glad that they have it out there for you to imagine what it could have been like. But I do like the canon ending.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same. Like, definitely canon for me, but it was a very beautiful ending. Okay, so I've got one here from Invisible Deity, who asks... Wait. What is this? Okay, I'm going to ask this question. A powerful ring from an older relative, ancient magic, impossible quests. You've had an incredible journey. What was it like traveling with Samwise Gamgee?
This is a Lord of the Rings reference. You are aware, yes?
Apparently not, which everyone's going to now hate on me for.
You haven't read the Bible? This is insane.
Oh no.
That is a really good idea. The parallels between Lord of the Rings and Noctis. I mean, the ring... Noctis also kind of destroys the ring in the end, and needs to in order to defeat evil. But Arden doesn't care about the ring. Are quite a few references. I mean, in terms of thematically, about... not talking about rings or ring-shaped objects specifically, but just in terms of the themes of brotherhood, that is absolutely the relationship between Sam and Frodo is very much like Ignis and Noctis, or Prompto and Noctis. It's and you've got Gladio as sort of the more of the maybe the Legolas and Gimli type, who's there for the combat and the sweet jokes, but not necessarily thematically a part of the whole greater picture. So yeah, there's a lot going on there. That's a pretty good question.
Okay, got one from Ashley. I'm an artist, and I just got into the Final Fantasy 15 fandom. I enjoy everything about it. How much fan art do you usually get tagged in since you've been in the franchise, and do you gush over it like any person would seeing such amazing art?
And I retweet it a lot. I love it. The creativity that is out there is really amazing. I love the silly stuff. I love the little cartoons. But then there's also, on the other side of the spectrum, there's the really artistic ones that take your breath away. The ones where people are showing an incredible display of talent and should and probably are working for video game companies someday. I mean, those are the ones that mean a great deal. But the funny ones are great for a laugh too. So I love it, and I always check it out or give it a like if I can. I don't always get... Problem with being verified is you don't get all of the notifications, which is always a drag. But I do try to get everything out there that I can.
There is some absolutely amazing artwork going around the fandom. Honestly, like, some of them just like blow you away when you see them on like feeds and things. Oh, have we lost you again?
I'm here. Did we get all the questions?
We have 2 to 3 sort of left that we've actually got, because it's got a bit messy, but we've got about 2 or 3 here.
Let's do it. Get going. But yeah, let's do it. Let's finish them all up.
Yeah? Okay, so any donations from now on, not going on here, but it's actually slowed down anyway. So, okay, I'm going to read some of the ones out for the $5 ones then. So this isn't a question... Oh, sorry, this is from Emma. I assume that's... Can't attend the event. Okay, I think this is our mod, Emma.
Okay.
This isn't a question, and I probably won't be able to hear because I can't attend, but I just want to thank you so much for being so interactive with the fans and for being an incredible voice actor. You really do bring these characters to life. Keep doing what you're doing, walk tall, and hold your head high in the knowledge that you've brought together so many strangers who are now very close friends because of the characters you've brought to life.
That really means a lot to me, Emma. Thank you. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you become an actor in the first place, because you want to make positive change and get messages out there that you really believe in. And it's wonderful that this series has resonated with so many people. It really warms my heart. Thank you so much, Emma.
And we've got one from Stacey as well, who's currently the one that's going through all these donations and sorting everything out for us. She's got here, I just want to say thanks for being such an amazing person within the fandom.
I really appreciate that. Thank you for, I mean, you guys on your own made up this entire charity donation idea. I mean, that you should be commended for that. That comes from a place of strength and compassion that I'm in awe of.
Yeah, definitely. And everyone in this Discord who's sat here right now, like partaking, even just listening and joining this charity event, it's absolutely amazing what we can do as a fandom. We've got one here, so I'm just going to keep reading them out instead of voice chatting people now. From Miranda Fair, what's one of your favourite recipes from the game or in general?
In general, oh man, I mean, you're just talking like real life stuff. Thai food, a lot. I eat a lot of that. But in the game, I enjoy the French fries. It's one of Noct's favorites, and increases HP a whole lot. So that's a fun one, and it's super easy to make. You just need like a potato, and that's it. So easy peasy to do. Love it.
From Denise, we've got, my question is, how did you find about the role of the Master of Masters from Kingdom Hearts, and what was it like voicing him? Also, can you say, may your heart be your guiding key?
Guiding key. I say it all the time. I love Master of Masters. He was one that I auditioned for. I also didn't know who it was. We were auditioning for a project called BC, which I later found out, oh, it stands for back cover. And he was one that, it was just a simple audition. No callbacks or anything, came in, and we ended up using my normal voice, which is the only character that I've ever done that for.
That's really cool. I think it's been such a long time since I played Kingdom Hearts now. I should replay it. So bad, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay, so from Skitters Amicitia, who does some very, very awesome art too. Oh, we had this one. Oh, we've had this similar one earlier. It was if you could do voice work for any franchise, what would it be?
I mean, here's a new answer. I would love if they ever voice Undertale. That'd be super fun. I would love to be Papyrus and say, Nyah!
I think someone should watch the stream and hire you just for that. That was perfect. From Kai Brow, what do you think about the relationship between Prompto and Noctis?
Brotherhood. I really honestly don't see them as a romantic thing at all, but I think it's really funny when people do it and take it that way. I definitely think there's more than enough evidence for it, but there's a lot of evidence in the other direction too. But I think they really do care about each other and show that that love between two males can be a platonic thing, just like in real life. You know, I have friends who I've had for a very long time, and it's an important thing to keep up for sure. And you don't see a lot of that in media these days. It must be romantic, or it doesn't count. And I don't think that's necessarily true.
Okay. Sorry, I'm checking through the last ones. Rachel Wingate didn't have a question, but just wanted to say thank you with a big exclamation mark.
So thanks for donating.
This one is from, oh, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, Juan Na. They've asked, did you know your main game Beans line became a meme because of talking about veggies during the friendly match?
Talking about veggies during the friendly match? I don't know what that means.
There's a friendly match on episode Ignis. It's like the boss fight, the extra.
Oh yes, of course. Oh, you're saying that they referenced the how we said beans in the English version?
Hmm.
I did not know. I mean, I must have when we recorded the lines, but I guess that slipped my my radar. I didn't realize that. I'll have to go check that out.
And good luck fighting Noct as well, because that is insane. Got one from Stacey Brault, who has asked, are there any funny moments you enjoyed from your work on Final Fantasy 15 that you haven't had a chance to tell?
I haven't had a chance to tell. I think we did talk about the one time that we tricked Robbie into thinking that he had to say all of the numbers of his camera. We gave him a fake script, and he had to say ISO 200, ISO 210, ISO 220, and he got a couple lines in, and he said, "This is ridiculous. This can't be real." That was a really fun one.
Oh my god, that's amazing! Please tell me you got a video of that.
We did. I don't remember who has. I think Matt, the translator, has it. I don't remember.
That's amazing. Okay. I'm gonna make this the last one. We've done nearly every single question. This has been really good. This is from Jennifer Dangleman. When voicing Noctis's more emotional scenes, did you ever get personally emotional to achieve the mood?
Absolutely. I mean, that's part of it. We had the luxury of recording pretty much in order, and so one of the last scenes was doing the campfire scene. And so for that, I was also saying goodbye to all the people who I worked with over the years, who really trusted in me. And that was absolutely an emotional thing. Delivering it to the people on the other side of the glass who meant a whole lot to me. I absolutely was crying. That's a huge part of it, and that's also why acting is fun, is getting to explore those kinds of emotions.
That's really sweet. And you can definitely, I mean, you can feel the emotion in those last lines anyway. Like, it's absolutely awesome. Sorry, I'm just going to do one more, because we had one person who was, I'm just going to say now, we had a person in here called Mary, who's so sweet. She's donated on behalf of so many members here who weren't able to donate themselves.
That's really kind.
So I'm going to finish up hers quickly. There's only one left. From Twilight Sky 15, is there any moment that even if you knew it was coming that hurt you the most when it happened? So I assume maybe within the game, or...
I mean, well, I did know the general plot from the beginning, so I knew that things were going to be happening. But one thing that they did keep from me was the Prompto train event. And that was one that I did not know about. And when it all happened, they showed me what the cutscene looked like after and what actually happened. And that was one that hurt a lot, for sure. That one came at me by surprise. That was a rough scene.
It was absolutely shocking, and I think a lot of fans didn't realise, because there's a lot of talk on social media afterwards where people were started analysing Robbie's tones in his voice compared to the ones Darren DePaul was using, and people realised, oh my gosh, it happened a lot earlier than we actually thought it had.
They were aware of the recording, but yeah, for me to do it, I was not known going on.
It's a sad scene, but it's really cool. And yeah, that is the end of our question line. As many as we can fit in anyway.
Yeah, what a success, you guys! Congratulations for donating so much. I mean, you should really be proud of yourselves. It's a beautiful thing.
Let's quickly have a look at how much we've managed. I'm going to refresh the page. So altogether, we managed to raise $335. That is absolutely amazing, guys. Everybody should just hug themselves now, because that is so good. We can do so much good with that.
Congratulations, you guys.
And thank you so much for joining our Discord, Ray. It means so much to everyone in here, and yeah, it's just absolutely amazing.
I hope I can help. I really appreciate you guys thinking of me, and I'm glad I can make it.
And if everyone's throwing you some thank yous in the campfire chats as well, that's just like going crazy. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. That's absolutely insane how much money we've raised.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much, Ray, for putting this on. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.